Better late than never. Another episode of the FlameFlash.net podcast. Welcome to episode 116. I am FlameFlash. And let's get started with the Raptor Report. It's not as hearty as I usually like it to be, which means I was perhaps a bit grumpier than I could or should have been in the home. Not having that relaxed downtime kind of hurts. 15 hours total this last week of Raptor recorded time. Skipping right over Superhero Squad because I'm pretty sure I did not fulfill the, it says 7 minutes, so maybe I did do 7 minutes in Superhero Squad. Just say taking over for a youngling while they run off to the bathroom. I appreciate being able to do that. Why? Because my parents wouldn't. Not because they didn't care, but because they didn't understand. They wouldn't know how to play these games. I'm getting a bit off track from Raptor Report, but I recall, for instance, my dad playing Dr. Mario with me and insisting that it was the controller messing up when, he's probably just twitching a bit too early. I got a second pair of controllers out of the deal, which was perfect for me because I would later, say, get a 4-player adapter and boom, I'm ready to roll. But Super Mario Bros. 2 comes up first. This was on a random, I've got to play something. Log into the Wii U, fire it up and go. It is fantastic on the Wii U having individual logins because that means you don't have to worry about those save states anymore. They're safe behind the login wall. So I know for a fact my 5-year-old or my 2-year-old aren't going to accidentally log in and play as me and screw up my save file. Hallelujah! Now if only Nintendo would say, wake up and smell the roses and fix, New Super Mario Bros. Wii U, that would be great. Because I would like to play that game, and I can't very effectively because we've run out of save files. Nintendo Land shows up. Now, here's one of those where my previous rant about save files goes right out the window. It's nice that it's up to the developer on if you use login-specific save files or not. But this is one of those cases where it makes sense not to do a login specific. If they could even go as far as, say, when Mario Party 10 comes out, whenever that comes out for the Wii U, put the unlockables not behind any of the save walls, but put individual story modes behind the login walls. So you'd have basically 2 separate save files, one for board unlock process and one for solo play unlock process. This is not like it's a riveting story in Mario Party by any means, but when I'm playing through on my own, well, I can't anymore because the kids screw up my save file. Mario Kart 7, speaking of save files, I'm still horribly tempted to get the digital version, even though that would screw us out of $10. Because I'd like to have Mario Kart 7 always available to me, easily. Unlike the home consoles, the handhelds, I do really like the idea of digital and all digital, just because they're handhelds. It is awesome firing up my Vita and going, hey, I could play that or that or that or that or that or that and go down the line. Now, granted, I had to get a 32 gig memory card to do that, proprietary, but the 3DS doesn't have that limitation. It's using SD cards. So, shove a big card in there and go. I'm not going to, because I have a family, though. When I want to share my games, I can't, because then they'd have to use my 3DS, and I want to use it. So back off. Played some with PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Or was that last week? I think that was last week. Must have gotten achievements or something in there because it's showing up on the Raptor report. Your trophies. Wii Fit Plus, though, comes up as the next one that I actually played, for sure. Wii Fit, we will move on. Is it a good or bad thing that I managed to get shin splints from this thing? I don't know. World of Warcraft. There it is. At almost 3 hours in the last week. Oi. Now, today, I've caught up a little bit. But that's a story for next week in the Raptor Report then. Civ 5 climbs to almost the top of the Raptor Report. And it's Civ 5, playing on a continent with the Russians, and taking over the entirety of the southern portion of the continent that I started on. Had to wipe out another nation to do so, but everybody was mad at me for expanding however far I wanted to go. And now I'm just being a peaceful isolationist. And being sure that I have a nice big military inside my borders, so if somebody does get mouthy, I can smush them into the ground. Eventually, I'd like to take over my entire continent. That's just me. It's not a big thing at all, no. I'll just take over my entire continent. Awesome Nuts. Awesome Nuts shows up. A friend of mine has Awesome Nuts as well, and so we enjoyed some two-player action over the internet. Cool. Very cool. I think I discussed this last week as well. The Gnaw trick, the Gnaw character. So you put some of his plants down where the healing neutral enemies are that always drop health modules, and boom, you have constant health modules just flying down at you. Now, the bad thing is, there are players out there that recognize Gnaw, know about that trick, and go and patrol the health module dropping area occasionally, just to make sure that you're not feeding yourself health from there, which is always unfortunate. Magic the Gathering shows up at the top, both for the physical and the digital versions. Physical-wise, it was only Commander this time around, and a couple of games of Standard, but Commander was the most satisfying, of course. There's Dakin. Yay, Dakin. Long retired from Standard, and probably uncastable in Standard. Holy crap. 6 mana of just the right colors? I don't think so. But in Commander, that's no problem, especially when I happen to have land tax. Those good cards. I miss them. Anyway, land tax would be great in Standard right now. That really would. Oh well. But that would be the Raptor Report. World of Warcraft makes the news a little bit in going down to 7.7 subscribers. Oh no, the game's ending! Yes, eventually, one day, World of Warcraft will no longer be around. Fine. But it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Give it another expansion, at least. Another 2-3 years, probably. Cool. Just long enough for the 5-year-old. Wow. Just long enough for the 5-year-old to be almost as old as the oldest daughter, and for the youngest daughter to be as old as the 5-year-old. Oi. I'm glad we're hoping to pick up another account pretty soon to cover all those little ones, or to help cover them. The store is now live on the PTR, by the way. So, if World of Warcraft starts dwindling even further, why not go free to play? Do a subscription bonus thing like some others do, Secret World, and there you have it. That'd be awesome. I would certainly approve. Wouldn't mind it at all. Nintendo, speaking of sales and profits and whatnot, posts a profit. Despite the fact that the Wii U is basically not out on the market. It's not in homes. You can walk into any electronics store or any store that sells electronics and find one. I think you're missing out. But what advertising have you seen for it? Any? Just the little kiosk with the Wii U in there? Oh well. DuckTales. Alright, so we find out that the physical, air quotes, copy is just a download code voucher and a collector pin. Boy, that makes me tempted to just do the download. I know. That's lousy. Shame on them. I would have gladly waited a month for the physical disc, like I'm doing for the Luigi, new Luigi. I'd wait. But so be it. Really on the fence about it. Saving $10? Well, that's $10. Is that pin worth, well, the $9 that... I just don't know. I haven't seen it. I would like to see it so that I can make my decision based on that. I mean, if it's a really awesome, say, Scrooge McDuck 8-bit avatar, I might be tempted to go ahead and get that. Have to wait and see, I suppose. Street Fighter. Street Fighter Ultra is making the news rounds because one of the goals of Street Fighter Ultra, not only are they adding the 5 characters, but their goal is to rebalance the game. To try to fix the broken characters in both directions, the overly weak ones and the overly strong ones. Give nerfs and buffs where appropriate, and hopefully bring all characters up so that there is no right character to play, no wrong character to play. I can respect that. Oh, speaking of Blizzard, you know, World of Warcraft's creator, they split from Vivendi Universal for $8.2 billion. Wow. So I guess Vivendi Universal's kind of having a tough time right now. and they were licking their lips and eyeing the coffers of Blizzard Activision greedily. And so Blizzard Activision said, "Screw you guys! We're taking our ball and going elsewhere to play." I don't blame them. It's a good move. Good move. I'm glad that they're successful enough that they're able to do that. Let's hope nobody else swoops in and buys them out. So, surprising no one, we'll transition from video games to worldly matters. Surprising no one, the TSA, over the last 3 years, misconduct's up 26%. Whether that be stealing, taking bribes, sleeping on the job. I can get away with sleeping on the podcast. It's not my job. But not watching the x-rays and paying special attention to every single little thing. These guys are in charge of the security of the planes. And they're not very secure. They're too busy going, "Hey, she's kind of pretty. I think you need some extra special screening over here. Even though we can clearly see you're not carrying anything because your dress is form-fitting." There have been quite a few actresses that have complained about that. So, I'm speaking truthfully. I'd call that part of the 26% misconduct, wouldn't you? Yay, getting to poke at the TSA again. I haven't had a chance to do that yet for a while. So, political news. This Manning fellow, a leaker. Trial journalists were patrolled by armed guards. So, last time I checked, freedom of the press was still on the books, right? The water's boiling, my friends. It's getting hotter. What side of the fence will you be on when it reaches the cooking temperature? Be aware. Here's another one. Judge firing a court employee for providing paperwork to an inmate. So, this inmate happened to be innocent. Filed for DNA evidence, a request for DNA evidence. And he kept doing it wrong, getting it denied. Well, finally, this court employee takes pity on him, gives him templates to fill out based on previous inmates who got out, which should all be public knowledge, if you know where to look. And the individual's fired for giving legal advice. That's the call sign, the excuse they're giving. No. This judge just didn't want to see that the system may not be as broken as he wants to believe. Last, I want to leave on a good note, a happy note. I'm not being mean to Netflix for once. They're getting profiles back. And this time with streaming. Now, you can't yet assign DVDs to the different profile queues, but that'll come with time, hopefully. For now they need to offer the ability to go, you just made a new profile. What of your viewing history in the last month, 3 months, 6 months, would you like to assign to this profile from the parent profile, the original profile. That's what they need to do now. Because I don't know about you, fellow parents out there. I don't mind seeing them. But when Go Diego Go, and let's see. Let's just bring Netflix up for a moment. What shows up on the You Last Watched and the We Think You Would Enjoy This? Oh, look, it's Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. It's Bob the Builder. VeggieTales. Superhero Squad, which is actually pretty cute, but that's some of the popular and top 10 available. For some reason, Breaking Bad is on here too. I don't know why. Maybe Red Flare actually did that one to me. I don't know. I've never seen it, so don't judge me. Write in to podcast@flameflash.net, but don't be mad at me for speaking badly of Breaking Bad. I haven't seen it. I'm just saying it shouldn't be on my top 10 list. But Netflix is moving in the right direction, and that's what matters. You can also set parental controls on each profile and set which profile is the default. So when you're sitting down at the iPad or the Apple TV or wherever you like to use your Netflix, once those applications are updated, right now it's only on the computer, once those applications are updated, you can set a default profile to go, kids profile, that's the default, and I'm going to limit it to television of Y7, and I'm going to limit it to PG-13, and now I'm done. And my kids are safer. And they can't switch profiles. Well, lock that in. You have to enter a password to switch the profile. Boom. @FlameFlash on Twitter. And that's that. Check your boiling points. Onward. Into next week. Signing off.